How should Christians handle conflict? Conflict is a part of life, even in the church. Wherever people serve together, there will be differences, misunderstandings, frustrations. The problem is not conflict. The problem is how we handle it. Jesus gave us a clear instruction in Matthew 18:15. If your brother or sister has something against you, go and point it out just between the two of you. That means go to the person, not about the person, not around the person, not after talking to others. When we don't follow these, problems grow, confusion increases, relationships are damaged. But when we do, clarity improves, trust is strengthened, unity is protected. At Heights SDA Church, we are choosing to follow a simple process. Speak directly, speak respectfully, communicate clearly, if needed, involve pastoral leadership. Because unity is not automatic, it must be protected.
Hello everybody and happy Sabbath. In today's presentation, we're going to be talking about our new character. We will be talking about the influencer. When influence operates without transparency. Our biblical foundation for this presentation is found in, first of all, Ephesians 4:25. Therefore, each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor. Healthy influence operates in truth and transparency. The next biblical foundation we find in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 11:14 says, "For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors." God values counsel, but not manipulation. Philippians 2:3 tells us, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit." Influence must be motivated by service, not self-interest. Then the last scripture for today we're going to find in 2 Corinthians 4:2. And it says, "We have renounced secret and shameful ways. We do not use deception. God's work is not advanced through hidden agendas." The main objectives for today are to help the church recognize unhealthy influence patterns, understand the difference between influence and manipulation, identify hidden persuasion tactics, learn how to influence others in a Christian-centered way. I want you to keep a core message in mind. Godly influence works in the light. Manipulation works in the shadows. Once again, godly influence works in the light. Manipulation works behind the scenes and in the shadows. Today we move into a behavior that is often difficult to recognize. Unlike the bully, the influencer is rarely forceful. Unlike the divider, the influencer might never openly create camps. Unlike the disruptor, the influencer might never speak publicly. In fact, many people don't even realize it is happening. The influencer is somebody who is very subtle in the way that he uses his influence. The influencer works quietly, through conversations, through relationships perhaps, through private persuasion also. The issue is not influence itself. All of us influence one another. This is impossible. Each one of us has an influence that is exercised continuously upon one another, okay? The question is though, is our influence transparent and healthy, or is our influence hidden and self-serving? What is an influencer? An unhealthy, emphasis on unhealthy, an unhealthy influencer is someone who shapes opinions privately, operates behind the scenes, avoids open discussion, and seeks outcomes without accountability. Instead of openly engaging an issue, they work through relationships, private conversations, strategic alliances, and selective information. A key insight into this presentation today is that the influencer often seeks to shape the decision without participating openly in the discussion. Which one I am? It's a good time for us to reflect upon our own position. Ask yourself honestly, do I discuss issues privately more than publicly? Do I influence opinions before issues are discussed openly? Do I prefer behind-the-scenes conversations? Do I avoid direct accountability for the outcomes? Do I share information secretly to influence people? Do I use relationships to gain advantage? Am I seeking truth or seeking outcomes? Let's look at some of the patterns of the influencer. Pattern number 1, private persuasion. Instead of discussing issues openly, conversations happen privately, opinions are shaped beforehand, votes are influenced before meetings. Sometimes you will see influencers trying to have a meeting before the real meeting, trying to have things go their way. The decision might appear public, but the influence happened privately. Please beware of these. Another characteristic, selective information. The influencer often shares part of the story, part of the facts, part of the context, or gossip, because it's talking about things he or she heard, but she or he cannot confirm. Not necessarily false information, just incomplete information or secondhand information. Strategic relationships. Relationships become tools. The question becomes, who can help me achieve these outcomes instead of what is best for the church, for example. Another characteristic is that it avoids visibility. The influencer often prefers operating quietly, avoiding responsibility, avoiding ownership. They might influence heavily while appearing uninvolved. Another one is the attempt to shape narratives. Statements sound like, people are concerned, many feel, I've heard. Notice, no names, no accountability, no direct ownership. Another one will be values results more than process. The influencer often believes the outcome is what matters. Little empathy. We have been talking about empathy in many of these characteristics or traits because it is often the missing link. The bully, the controller, and many of the other characteristics, they lack empathy. No difference with the influencer. They're not concerned about others. They're concerned about themselves, and most times the outcome justifies the means. But healthy leadership recognizes process matters too. Both process and people are considered. This is a trait of good leadership. It's concerned about the process, it's concerned about the outcome, but it's also concerned about the people in the way. Now let's take a look at the impact on the church by these behaviors. Unhealthy influence produces suspicion, distrust, confusion, hidden agendas, and weak accountability. Members begin wondering, who is really making decisions? What's happening behind the scenes? Why wasn't this discussed openly? Over time, trust erodes, unity weakens, and relationships suffer. And please notice that a lot of these behaviors will impact directly relationships. You're going to see that again and again. Critical insight. Transparency creates trust. Hidden influence creates suspicion. I want us to look at how these behaviors connect also to other behaviors. The influencer might be also in an overlap with other ones that we have talked about, but I want you to see the differences as well. The influencer often overlaps with behaviors we've already studied. The disruptor, for example, utilizes influence to create confusion. The divider utilizes influence to build camps. The bully uses influence to become more controlling. And the narcissist, which we haven't studied yet, but we will study in a couple of Sabbaths, uses influence to become a source of significance and importance. Let's look at this important truth. Not every influencer is a narcissist. Not every influencer is a divider. But unhealthy influence often strengthens these behaviors. And so what I wanted us to see is the connections. But we cannot say that every influencer is this or that, okay? What should I do? Well, what if you identify that this is something you're dealing with? This is part of your traits. Bring issues to the light. Speak openly and address concerns directly. Own your position. Instead of saying, people are saying, or many are thinking or wondering, say, I am concerned about X. Value process. Follow leadership structure, communication channels, and proper accountability. During these different presentations, I have emphasized the need to approach people directly, and also I have emphasized the need to write emails so that we can create a record of effective communication and we can see the different sides and understand what is going on. Use influence to serve. Ask, how can I help the church instead of how can I shape the outcome? Be transparent. If you have an opinion, own it. Do not hide behind others. Healthy influence seeks truth, and healthy influence seeks control of outcomes. And this is what you want. You want to have healthy influence. All of us have influence, but we want to use it right. We want to encourage others, and through effective leadership, we can encourage each other. That's influence being utilized properly. How to handle an influencer. So now, what if the issue is somebody else who you identify as an influencer and is actually affecting you or connecting or interacting with you? Ask for clarity. Questions such as, who specifically feels that way? Have you spoken directly to leadership? Can we address these openly? These questions will help you lead the discussion in the right direction. Bring discussions into appropriate settings. Move issues from private persuasion to open discussion. Look for transparency. For example, you can ask, what facts support this? What are we missing here? Reinforce accountability. Encourage clear communication, direct ownership, and proper process. Keep focus on the mission. Ask, how does this help the church fulfill its mission? We do not operate through hidden agendas. We operate through truth, transparency, and accountability. And this is what we want to become as a church, a place where this is taking place. I want you to take a look at this series, in the progression within the series that we have been given. These are some important observations. The influencer often works underneath many of the other behaviors, quietly shaping opinions and outcomes. As I have already told you, this is something that overlaps, and many of these behaviors might use some of the traits of the influencer. The critic, as we studied earlier, is the core problem is negativity. The avoider is silence. The disruptor is confusion. The bully is control. The passive aggressor is indirect communication. The divider is factions. And the influencer is hidden persuasion. Final self-check. Ask yourself these last few questions. Am I being transparent? Am I speaking directly? Am I influencing to serve or influencing to control? Would I be comfortable saying publicly what I am saying privately? Am I helping build trust or weakening it? Finally, I want to make a commitment as a church, and this is what I'm inviting you to choose to do today. Today as a church, we choose transparency over hidden agendas. We choose accountability over manipulation. We choose trust over persuasion. We choose service over control. We choose Christ over personal influence. One final thought that I want to share with you. In a healthy church, influence is not hidden, manipulated, or protected. It is exercised openly, honestly, and in a way that points people to Christ rather than to ourselves. My dear brother and sister, I want to, as always, invite you to please consider these presentations. They are on YouTube, they're on a playlist in our channel. You can view all of them. And I want to invite you to self-reflect. Think about what this means to you personally and how we can become the united church that Christ wants us to be. May the Lord bless you. May you have a wonderful Sabbath day.